Bojan interment be studio kono kamari mas laten to ka jey apele mdun kuta e mindo studio kono kotanke e ba danna programme on posa ko mas bismillahir rahmanir rahim nga kum falam de rabbil alamin e programme o mi yalon ko betulo kanum telbe dawoda banko kan ani banko e batla kalten to kal jey al kala wato min jani pourquoi tarantel fe jang e ka kibaro ke mandi ka kan wala anim fana kibaro kono fanundin kam mol fenan kasi ka kaja ke kulla million ko temmen wala be kerim banko kan anim banko e banta butum hanbi ka fale ko ala ka baraka ke anim fana alla e watol alkami jani bi min be studio kono bi mi ngi soro asna luntan wala kata honorable ablay pujanti e mi yalan kon tembena ata studio kono e be min kala wala ni ko nga kalantono kibarol kono ni taden kibar ko la fanala kol bi mi ko e be wol dol folale bajal ko sakka fana muta nga sujindi wo fana kan men ko ikumatale andu betadal fana ni tembena kol mbe kerinto album wala ko Senegali e nin tembena present ko mi yalan ko on the 24th of March karo 24th mi yalan ko ya kalin ya ay carte tan carte fawla o carte fayoni e opposition jaton ko ni nata win mi yalan ko e ka fay ko basse jama e jomay fay e tuma winna a winta winba e to Senegal banko kan e nin ko mun safuno ko bi kada fenti mi yalan ko ya kalindi adunta la e adunta manse a siran kono asida manse a siran kan ana adunta bumba kono pale kono e barol kono je e molbi je mi yalan ko tara je to e mi yalan ko head of state ulta je ka bu banko la president e his excellency president Adama Barrow mi ko kunu afanta Senegal anda e la je le fonto e borum ko la je fana e ni akaramta mi ko ay news lo fintindi e tumo min fana kibaro fana finte kamuna ay news e ay newspaper ade dami yalan ko e ya kalamta ko OMC e min kata oil marketing company akamta ko ni temmene be kan fay kan katandi ko felo la manko wala tulma fi wala manko banko kan a e ko nin kumu ata bay nola e nim fana fenete mi yalan ko akumata bakale bajala ko e kabata ngatanin ay newspaper fana la dami ko kibaro fana tandi ko the philanthropy mi yalan ko nin kumu e mola mi on ka bula tebe bakale gambe banko kan ka me ko Mr. Mulu Tro Dabo ay diro ke almost min tarafo bitili warawula nyongo abe diro di kam min tarafo sukul boto wuli wulol ay wolle di molla ani bulla ma fengol dol ay wolle cika ke di molla o fana bije mi yalon ko bidan standard la wal fana kibaro sabatindi e mi yalon ko e kibaro kungol lo fana de katandi ko ako police la diamula nyaton ko police la diamula kabo bobulu e mi yanko e kede binta njay mi yalon ko ASP binta njay ay min tandi wolen ko ako mo woro wala fata accident to mi yalan ko min keta kiang ani motang ani saba wolle barmada jeto e akamta ko ngata ni immigration diam la fana la mi yalan ko ay min tandi katandi ko ako immigration e kulungo do kalamta nun katon mi yalan kala to wulle katani ko masilola mi yalan ko e immigration fana wo kulungo ni ya londile amanta takan saen ko tank ako momon anin saba wole banta e jambur tumo minna e former president Jammeh ala tamandir bulul ay minkenu ako momon ni saba ay wolle mantora jamburu e bojang e bankero di standard la Sidia Jata mi yalan ko honorable Sidia Jata ya nyarandi fenna nyarandiro dandula dami yalan ko yake yate US banko kan America banko kan kake Africa nyaton koti wala Africa la ke kendol mi yalan ko heroes award min keta America ya nyarandi je yake ke kendoti mi yalan ko kelo mi yalan ko e ko nin ko mun safono ko ay lambe jumale ay pujamale ke mi yalan ko wolbere ko soto kake kel kono ke kendoti nim feneti miyanko ngol dole tombong ni tembena mi yalon ko bolle fel nang mi yalon ko bakata kilo fanal anim fana be kono fon le fota nim bojang bari ma minkela nsa bojang bula folo ay nana folo ay nga nyokon ton folo Mr. Bojang e bismillah program
nene abaka be molbe kontona Gambia bantala e la boss e la do kunyol momume be kontona be du ala banko ye ani banko be la nyaton ko melbe sirin klokan ani melbe opposition yala
Bojang ku jamale ke nim banko kan bari ngamel futande on fol soto ci to kabat no ko ani ngame sainte ngolo main topic ko taning pana barsi jama fay mi nga kalmtan ko he was a opposition leader to muminani Ousmane Sonko collaborator pour kaje ko in 2014 ka parti mi yalan ko e ka fay passport so wo parti ni e kamta ko ning ko mu inata wino kele in 2024 anata ke wino to mi ko Senegal be ya kalamta ko wino kedal andum bi ifele ya kalendi e da mi yalan ko di his excellency president Adama Barrow ma beta jele aning head of state jama balle ma be in fact Africa TV e mo jamalle ma beta je mi yalan ko katafo Nigeria president the famous Mamadou Doumbouya of Guinea Conakry ma beta jele anen fana Guinea Bissau la Oumar Sissoko Embalo salawina president anen president kotongol katafo la lolu le mulde ki bari president kuma balle bende mianko ni wol fonga lata nyokan esa Africa bondino sako Africa TV West Coast West Africa ma fo esa bondo malum yemunde sreba fo temen
alors Sénégal la ko jamay fay la ko mo karandalti mo be se karanno jele andum mansa kiol fana nyanta karanna jele ba wol dam manten anding normal ankol ndol fangol youth soul ni nata UN la definition to jomay manke yuti kebalem manke fonden kedi Ousmane Sonko manke fonden kedi be mu kebal te bare ibota fonden ke akono amamme iman jafolo so wala na mo jamal ka fo fonden kel bare niya jibe Africa banko nyanta kala kinineti andi nyanta talale andung wo mu kulti me ala amanyana dan kata ka mabe nim president men ganyeta ka tolondi wala kudo ka wo da mabe hani ba Africa fa nyanta kala nyineti andong itol fana membita kanji ni ata ka menje wolem wala mo be nyanta ka mento wolem mansakel membe Africa embassy especially meliale manta do ko cekan isi paré
de fo mansakel be kerne Africa jam million ko mole tambandi manta do ko ke
hanka ibe siagni Africa mansakel banta do ko ni be do ko lambe bola nyin tambotole imbe damen to jang be bola jel ni ata be do ko londe so manke ni mansakel da ma membe je ifi mel tapita i jamal man do ko ke do ko me yalo ase mo samna
ni ba mansakel kuma le minan ko kata ko ke le bankol kan andum bankol jikole tindi pour ka kata ko ke kaje ko e pese ya dafa ya le ba mansakel je le compte le min safono maybe ni mo sabani sa woni no kata ne ko
Gaddafi do ko kele bake fa bake
Mohamed Gaddafi
andung I dream le soto I love the dream o men o lebe fulfill kan in the presence of Ousmane Sonko nyol in the presence of Jamai Faye nyol in the presence of Ibrahim Tawale in the presence of this guy in Burkina Faso and Mali but Mali they are moving a bit away Dumbia exactly
why Mali is moving a bit away
they are not very kanyin cool samba aitano inyanta ka focusing nyanta ka takajela amanche kome nyama koti demanding no abuka samba no you have to be very aggressive you have to be radical for a low mamang mo be yake. So this is what we are seeing in Burkina Faso, this is what we are seeing in Niger, and we think Kwame Nkrumah also has a similar position, and they've done quite a great number of things, especially when it comes to Africa killing and so on. And in Kaita Molako, nse lono mfayele, nse koku beke no mfayele, paske ala ya dinale. Pake atuta sa ntola miranya aning nganteo siti nyame. So yes, you have them. Many along, yes, they have done tremendously well. So imagine if you had heard leader Saba, member of Gaddafi. Libya would desert, but Gaddafi are Kenya and Mobe Agele. The greatest man-made river, the biggest as well. So you would understand that we have great people in Africa. The only problem is the mentality. Our leaders that we are, most of them are not working. Because we know that, for example, Libya is a case study for us. Libya benunjang, ila dinungol fon kata Europe come holiday do. But come kata jara lola ni wasifal amantaria. Because you have the stipend, you have the allowance and everything. Nibe futula fon ka ku di lela, domogo soni ata. Gaddafi le nata wo fenan. asototale so wana mansake ya nyanta ila miro nyanta ka fanu bake ande nyanta kala doku
ife ko Gaddafi ay minke wolon kan lu ay tarambulul munta amba binki kan loi soto baliyala man fenno men ko loi mantara o horma ka mantar loi bunya kan like for sense ko peri wato minna ala wato sita en taka jile o masno for how many years abe kulo kan and jila do fu often is part of development for
Libya loi ma fo ko me Gaddafi nyanta jille and loi man soto dunia kono loi man soto there is no law. That's the truth. Luati jede. Nene wala ma dene diamola. You see même luati America amanke luati Gambia. Même bandiati America amu amanke luantayati Gambia. So loi man soto. Loi man soto wala ala fa wala luati. Nyimu man made laws leti. So molle ka si emiga ya America nyine petata nyi society to okay. So Gaddafi was not guilty because al time legi banta and so on. No, what he tibabo le ya jeko alafta menna wolem alafta ka Africa be ke kilinti andung alafta ka Africa kodo da ning dina goal le la goal and they are settled and ya lon ko sembo babule I think 63 65 tons I have forgotten the numbers people viewers can correct me but I was certain on meaning he has what it takes ka Africa banko be ke nyokan aninka kodo da me alon sana kodo lem it will not be paper money dollar be boilal CFA be boiler, you could be boiler. So Africa is men soto in terms of natural resources that ma. Se Africa in dunia be palondino. But il after monela, il after mole la nyine la ko. Mem bota Africa o manke kuti. But wala nan ko luati. But wait, because ning atara luata man di nyalem I correct. Gaddafi man fenke because nga sotole tibabu du let's go back to history. In the UK up to somewhere around 1950 1960 muso hani ye luwa kara ibra keno George because ye lata men na wolem ye la hakilo man kamal pour ka ke George wo mo kele won le ka fon to lebi wo mo kele won na taje na mama nyol mutajang ye laño ya forcé kamma ye fa ye toran ye nakol be sunyambule ta bi wolle ko human rights social I'm not. I'm a realist. I don't believe in those things. What I believe in is.
But Fenke, what was it? Bojang. Yeah, I remember no Jammeh nata jana kafoko. You know, I know. I told Gaddafi. I knew what Gaddafi was doing. You cover Gaddafi. One of the interview, Johnson cover Jammeh. You know, don't you learn from what happened to Muammar Gaddafi? Akafoko natron come just like they are using that to me. Maybe they are making a great mistake. But in his statement, Gaddafi was doing something which is not right, and he advised Gaddafi not to do it. What was that? You think Oman can do that? Well, like Jammeh advice cannot to do it.
You see, you have to understand this perspective. Nkoyeko loi mazo. Même atolo soko no luati. Womu drado bandiyalti. Man fa understand kama.
No understand.
Okay, generally, Gaddafi te molem commentol. It will make a mistake also. It will make a cold killer. Yeah, understand. Okay, so I'm not saying Gaddafi Mbeke is correct, but I'm telling you now. Gaddafi la kilo manke Gaddafi fon e kole kele hani ibe Africa la kele kan.
Oh, okay.
So that's my point. Okay, anta ka Gaddafi gibele at least na dindia be mfana nga fen soton digele anata Gambia and of course. Okay, his approach and everything you can understand that ku Jamal Bijele they were not in line with the modern concept of human rights law and so on. But you see I don't think in the case of the Gambia you have human rights, but you go to hospital, you claim you are free now. You go to hospital, you cannot get paracetamol. You are sick, you have to go public, parade your problem for people to pay $2, $10, $200 for you to get.
Is that an example or?
That's not human right. I'm just telling you, you know what they want us to believe is, okay, human right, you know, it's a diamo keno mendiate. You know, it's a character final, you know. No, those are part of it, but the essential parts of it, and they don't advocate for that. And Gaddafi gave that to Libyans. Healthcare is okay, security is okay, the economy is okay. That's what we want. Nothing as human right. Because if our dollar is going down, whatever freedom that we have, if our economy is going down, whatever freedom that we have is useless. Look at the oil marketing companies, what they are saying. Oil carbon mintole. Who controls it? So you can understand that all this discussion is around what the dollar. Gaddafi wanted that to go off. The discussion should be around the African gold minted coin, African gold minted currency. So the dollar is going to go. These IMFs and all those sort of things. Gaddafi never went to them. But he is able to do what he is able to do. So it's a fake thing that they are selling us. And unfortunately, most of us are buying it. So they cannot make our leaders bad in our eyes or in the eyes of Africans who understand. Gaddafi is not a bad leader. Yes.
Okay.
He's not a bad leader. He's the leader who has given a lot to people.
But he has killed a lot.
Yes, we agree. But then, how many did George Bush kill? For lying and saying that there is an atomic bomb in Iraq and all that. What have they done to Afghanistan? Why are we not talking about those things? So whatever Gaddafi killed is nothing compared to these people who are claiming to be human rights and whatever, the West. Look at Israel and Palestine. Why this is happening? And that is human right? Where's the human right then? So it's fake. It's not true. It's non-existent. What we think and what we know should be human rights should be respect for human life. So when you kill people, there's no human right about it. And that's why I agree Gaddafi has done certain things, because he has killed people. But then again, the thing was not even about that. The thing was, how do they stop Gaddafi from growing Africa to where Africa is supposed to be? But they could not stop that, because Africa is such a way that now people are aware. If you kill this soldier, another soldier will rise somewhere else.
So that means you want to tell me Gaddafi Mantaraje by saying
yes, you have the assimillators, you have the Burkina Faso, president, and you have Niger, Abdurrahman. So these are all examples, and you have a lot of people coming up. You have the Julius Malemas and others. These are all people that are fighting for a common thing. Lumumba, enlightening people.
Nga penkala statement o jale mi yalan ko Usman Sonko statement o moyla ka fako comme njoya julo Senegal ni France tema aba control Senegal ni ajibe France ni ajibe the European economic power banko min kan mi yalan ko economic stability anyama wo mu Germany di ako Germany is not dependent on any African country. Yet, and then Germany so why France but depend on Senegal kan so saying it means ko you think ko Senegal ka fako France ni yakar Senegal la e be development so la lafta nyama Senegal develop tare Dakar develop tare so it miro to ko Senegal naton ko body ni France tema can they able to move on anya
more than move on, in fact they will move speedily, fast. You see, the issue is people are talking. Most of the infrastructure in Senegal is not necessarily today. The French, they have a system, assimilation, and it's like their concept is they are given a God-given authority, a divine authority to turn Africans into civilized French men and women. So they in fact never wanted to leave. Kabo woman ke ila idea wala ni ya doku nyame yalo a nice style and near Gibe you can go to Cote d'Ivoire, you look at Senegal, you understand that, yes, because that is the idea, and that is why you will be assimilated. In fact, education, before you are able to get education, get scholarship, you have to be assimilated for a come français pour say and so on. So a more joy and the journal and so on. So the truth is this: African leaders and Africans must focus on Africa now. That's the point. We have to look inwardly. We don't have to be dependent. We are Muslims, and what Islam promotes is, and what Islam says is, the hand that gives is better than the hand that receives. So all along,
Africa, we have to unite, we have to come together, and then it's time for us to take us from our own pocket also, where we try to move with our own self without involving these other West people. But Africa for man, the man can okay what?
Parce que n'Africa le be Africa no tema. Won Africa ya Usman ka wala kele anin dol. Tibabo le bentol tema. That is the truth. Wole be login tema. Ika fitinol wulindi. Muna na Congo man Cairo sotonan for sign. Freetown, Sierra Leone. Ngawa damono bantalangola na sign Cairo bije. Liberia. Dula dame ya Cairo bije ka dunne ya betinya. Ye fitino dumbi. Nigeria hand for sign. Ntolnyanda ka TILOO boni dulato. So même bije wolem africanol nyabe yele kanne.
Mona be Senegal. Mi yalan ko français nyati de Senegal because ngalon sen Sonko.
You see, hani ata fangol bije anyways. But hani ata fentiji français le système o men soto wala even kodo alka men print e ka percentage soto jele alla national kodo alla reserve be tagala france alla mabawdula so ning saate mume ka mabago ke ite ya nene andu saate bi la kodo ka tote ite kodo ka wulule ite kodo wulindi no abete na fala ate faate mon na fala comme banque kamel ke mon la na faati ja na fa do ya bata e ka kodo landi je ndo ena e wodon to ite la kodo la do ya la kodo fenite solate wodi ite la ning kago fata ye wala every month every year ye fendi ite la demanding so mol kunin tale mol ya lonne wala mele kodo so do sabe ke fam batande wala banque men ka taga je wala domota ani emergency call de gas e ka ko dal le sa ani kudo me ya wol ne bu ka fenke because kodo every day aka jile so mol ye wala understand sign so France il a policy ning la everything even contract ko même contract ko ti ni man seconda ba di la French company ibe wala prioritize la o ba ta yado so come on we cannot accept that wala na beta kan koma so nintol mu musil molti ntol lata alala andum alako bulo men ka digo ke wala fesara bulo men ka tago ke ndole ka digo ke so ndole fesara nyulti so ite mol yabla nga lom faye nga lam fanna you know Gambia jang mol be ku cheka nyim bankun kam me ya long ni atra mansa kunda yi mako exemple on ko woldi de bunda me bunda ta bondina na China
yeah
bi nga kilim fo sa nka sam
bunda
ni ya jibe aka doku nyame ya do hey dindingol bi je bakata kan mo bakata kan ne
newolam fo
newo ay wasanne bari fengo fe mem bi je atala doku ni ya jibe bunda je menta meta yena dindingol be sama to dada kan kam bandingol be sama sumuto be sama to dada kan nyim bankun kan na musol kata menta na Senegal so a similar thing même bulu jan ko le bulankata jana son ko nyol ko le fo ko Africa même bulu damma ni be kata kilinti nga nyomuta nga lamfanna tibabol binajan do ko lale ibinajan ko fenke do ko nyino yes asekenole
basi jama fay ci momina adunta pale kono bi malen ila yaajala birata pale kono biri akalindi yaajibel
majibe bimbe bisiri mbakela
yeah maybe Basir brother the president Basir because time kabe bila telong Senegal le president
Macky Sall kabe kono kabe kono president wala
je birin kono
o meta lo mena election o keta mole wolon neko e ka fale president ele wo formality do
bare intenga me Macky bile Macky la de ala fen ko banta date expert
Macky la wato banta kabe wadi ma amela moyle do mole ya fayle amela moyle
je just come back. I understand.
You see, officially, Jammeh is president B. He was president-elect. We understand that. But the amount of people who are president of Jammeh because more yalon in Bekiri. Yalon alala kere ebuko binding no. Ha. Isela ko beke ba yote binding no. So that's what we have seen.
What happened? Muna ne over because ngalan cartel fight ay ko maki multi men ko ay kataw kala ay kutu kata lakang ay Senegal doku ay Senegal ke nyon tangoti ay fenjama fena
Senegal ma fa man doku kede anu sonko fa mo fo ako doku dasatale anu fa hani ata ye doku ke ino joyale kono tol mala fi wala hey hani ata man fen sote kana ki jongoti sonko la position of multi pan-africanism from bo wol nyama amanje ko president ma kata ika katale itol fana yemenno e ka wala keten itol fana fe dia bes ye wala keten we understand that akamata ni inte mo flobe borika nsisa be loge ite na itambina ntenga la jego to mbe borika bakala ite na yendang so that's life molte katu mola katu keno la kelindi but ngame explain yi and mola position of mente wala ite taga no la bankun kan joyare andu ifo yalo ne ko ise bono wo joyato so that's the point. So, yes, I katale. Okay, yes, I cool kele. We understand that. We agree. But yalo nyin dunia kono, ike la cool leke, wala na dunia, you need to know when you enter the stage and when you leave the stage. Politiko aning dunia kuoku. Inyantalo na watu jumale ibe sella, stage ka ani watu jumale ibe jila. Ntolla leaders all aning most of Africans wala na problem oti. Hey, today maybe I'm relevant with Eyeafrica. You know, I'll be commanding all the time. Ni amanke da mala Gambia. Hani na walto le sita ala asafe ole nyama. But ning fa nga ko sang o fen ko nyimbe jikane. I should just say, come on, let me just quit. That's life. Give chance to others to come. Na wo kinu amu hirolti. but ay mo jelle fata ay yaaje men duwa yaaje memma wala kupitata kan yaaje mo man fa impasse mo man fa ala fo mo jelle fata yaaje mana time but monem
impasse time ko no momi banko bula to momi na wato
that's normal mo jelle fana Senegal minister na ta janedi ibe non janedi hotel to
je
tama wala ani la family they were here
lunjuma
my friend Sonko nyola porte swato ani that time and even this election a lot of them are here
Senegal minister soundana
inkwete kan defale for Allah hotel for tamala lem for nyandile a lot of them came there so we know
in the family
just like in tola minister nin ku dole e cool so to to fana bol nyama this is the closest place and jande fana bogo diata so but monem ni la wato banta so ni la wato bantale and that is simple period you move
but if you muna sabu no sonko Macky Sall lafta pour ka to power bari amanka comme ka to power bari pour ka nyaji because in a sense ko atemanta la 3 mandat kala andum fana pour ka do fana bula mi yalan ko ka free e to mirol nim ko la kam bari ko to mirol lon ko lum at the end of the day ko falinta anan kamta ko mintara bulo mimbe nun kungoto wotara singoto mimbe singoto atara bulo
Maki, I even believe amanche kama atafanya la lafina fangote kafu kama mbatu nga sonko patandi wala kudo no mole ba koma wale mfaranselti and in dunia other powerful business people and people of interest in Senegal and so on they want to protect their interest atara anata oda man because sonko ni men nata ni ata about implement lale a lot of them will suffer because Senegalese time men sonko ka bol tala mo ndima that is it. They don't want that.
Iden amere maki amere ko bi ñun lu basulwala.
Come what do you mean? Maki mo molti ala no ko be falal de awluto ñama fala wala ñama.
Ha bari foyne
anata man sala ñama fundilal.
Ha bari foyne ne amere ko maki nene be maki nene be believe so ko sonko mi yalon ko dundi kasola jama fay mi yalon ko ay lebin mons ke kasolo lebina aba chabo di lawol ka fay ko state house chabo mi net.
Anene mo mira. You understand? Awla na kataka make sure dole mbagate kala nyulti because nyulla agenda wumate favor by nyulla agenda let me tell you one thing abedulal ni mi hakilo fan Senegal be pisalla sonko la kola ni ataka ba kala alafta ka kinyame because in the beginning abedulal but wolem ila kaywoti wolem Africa la kaywoti
munat na wadula
because alafta ka menke wolem munti ila economy ila fanko ila natural resources
ya mera ba busla no Senegal bala fanko busla no France kono nyaadi
asa kenole
ba Senegal batandal
wala na ngawo fwe comme ibe pisala ni me hakiloto ibe pisala le because yalo kukuto nana ta rek problem ol ka siale and some of things I may expect will ka happen but at the end of the day Senegal has what it takes to move Africa has what it takes to move independently or to deal with people that are fair. They will take the fair share of what they deserve and leave Africa with the rest. But you cannot come and take my principal, capital and my interest or my profit, everything. No. So I know it's going to be a gradual process, but then that is the way out. That is the way out. So we should encourage that.
But ni ajibe fana e tamaram bulul fana jibe fenno mi yalan ko akumara bakale bi e tumo mina yajibe ila suggestion wala ila miroto ni African president be mi yalan ko bende jele we talk about Nigeria Bola Tinubu and then you talk about Mamadou Doumbouya, you talk about Mbalo Siso Marlo from Guinea-Bissau and then from Anundla Kotongol will be not a jele. Yami niye karandile ba
yalo hada wade ngollem itawta man taw kawo nyanda ka soto jele adiate amande nyanda ka karanjele yalo like Doumbouya wote ku keno la bake wote ku keno la bake because wo amo faranselti Doumbouya mo faranselti abe elite force or mentor one of the key things that you do is you are loyal to France whatever the situation is. Yes, Doumbouya aning who is this Tundi, in Russia, in different places, and they are all French citizens. They are, because they are serving a special unit, an elite force unit, and their number one priority is France. So the number one priority of Doumbouya is not Guinea, it's France. That's the truth. So Doumbia, I don't expect much from him. So these leaders are leaders that don't have the mentality that these new people are having, and that's the problem. The perspectives have changed, the thinking has changed, and everything, and they fail to realize that. They need to tune up. They are outdated. These leaders are outdated because and the young African mentality is different. That is what is disturbing them. So the only way for them is to survive is for them to tune up, for them to get themselves updated and think in the line of the new African, the new young African, the Africa that we want to have. A united Africa, Africa with one currency, Africa that has no borders. When it comes to sewing papers, we can trade anyhow. And the biggest cancer in Africa is Nigeria.
Okay, Nigeria.
Tinubu, yes. Nigeria is called the big brother, the giant of Africa.
The big brother.
Yeah, so it's like in a house, when the head, a compound, when the head is intoxicated, it renders the entire body useless. Yes, ni ko nyama ta hani ano football no isingo se beta nyama abukina fa. So Nigeria be wole nyama. So wole nyata ka tune up no, ni tune up to no. A similar thing is what they do to Peter Obi. He has a better agenda than this guy, Tinubu, and so on. But you see, these systems that have cartels, they have people that actually play their cards and stuff like that. So unfortunately, that couldn't happen in Senegal because the youth as well.
But if you go for another Senegal, you think go what left Senegal?
Why don't you see the communiques of ECOWAS and AU and other international whatever? After all this is happening to Sonko, tell me what they have done. Tell. Have they come categorically clear and support Sonko and blame Maki? No. They have an agenda. Unfortunately, that agenda is not the agenda of the African young or African youth. No, young people, no. That's not our agenda. Our agenda is different now. So that's what they fail to understand. The agenda of the young African is different from the agenda of the current presidents of Africa, heads of states, prime ministers, and so on, heads of government. The young African wants to see an Africa that is prosperous, an Africa that relies on itself, an Africa that is independent, an Africa that has a strong economy, an Africa that has a say on the world stage. They don't want to have an Africa where you put all the African heads in one boss. If you want, you bomb them and they all die. You are calling Russia-Africa Summit, but it cannot be in Africa. It has to be in Russia.
Yeah.
You are calling US-Africa Summit. It cannot be in Africa. It has to be in the US, where you call them and school them. The young Africans understand that. All this, what the Tubabs are doing, this Yali and these all things, they are all just bullshit. How can somebody who killed your grandfather, your great-grandparents, make them slaves, call you saying he's going to teach you leadership? Yes, Yali, young African Leadership Initiative. They get 2-3 Gambians, take them. They look at Gambian youths that are in leadership positions and that have a potential when it comes to politics. They take you to begin to train you so that you'll be in their good books and so on for tomorrow. Hey, we understand all these things.
Iko bidin tibabol kana interest in Africa ye lale lafta nyaming at the end of the day ning Africa fana lafta puru ka so tibabol pulo kone be lale nguluma after the end of the day lafta mina be so te bulo ko nasi. You think that's right?
Jumala ko tibabol nguluma ta. Enene ma nguluma. Yalo nguluma wala entende ko di. Ka nyoy ma wala ke saka da nguluma. Ima nguluma. Tibabol understands something, and that is what we Africans understand. They control your mind. Ike mira nyame, ika wale falling, ika wale king. Because I don't know, hadamadingo balo be mengena important wa ala mira nya. Ake mira nya de aka jego ke nya de. So you will control, and now we are understanding that, and that is why we are not taking it. And that is why people, even our syllables at school, the way we learn, we want to change it. Because why? They make us learn about them and think the way they want us to think so that we will believe. You see, if somebody controls the way you think, I can't know. So, I plant a kilo if think is smarter.
Bi nimpen ko min kata in Senegal say nil be nata e benda jeto ila miroto mune bolaji. Any lesson?
That's what I'm saying. If I were a Barrow, I would not run for 2026.
If you were a Barrow?
Yeah, I would not run.
Why?
Why? Not because of Senegal. That's the last thing. It's because...
you think Barrow is going to run for 2026?
It's possible. These leaders, you can never predict them. You can never, especially with that seat. Wow, paradise on earth. Nobody wants to leave it. Okay, but what he needs to understand is this. The main problem in the Gambia is the youths. If the youths take up politics with seriousness and know politics just like they know Messi, Sadio Mane, and others, believe it or not, he will not survive as a president. And no president will survive. Because people now are getting aware. Imam Mellon Fang, ibita media le yaje. So ye la moy masakunda bina men fola. Ye ka men fo kala masakunda be fo wala bare nak nyine be tonyaka. So the youth, the African youth is beginning to understand that we have to take matters in our own hands to, drive the change that we need. We have to be the change that we want. So people are getting aware. The information is available. Molia lonely. Hani president wa ila moto ka memboni ya lone jellem. Ani a manufacturer which yele. People know. So come on nene say now you have to deliver or you move. So wala nanko if I were him I would not even run. Because one, even if you are working in politics, this I understand. Hani ata ila moto ikawale chika politiko kono wato ka sile me yalo o moto niano iba tutulale because they hate you now politiko le bonya. So ni tar hani be deliver kan moli nata for ye hate sign. The best thing to do is you just give in. You just move. Because ni ma woke malo ni doyale be tagalaji. Wala nanko you need to know when to enter and when to exit.
So, ila miroto, iko President Barrow, not item President Barrow, you're not going to run for
I'm not going to run.
But President Barrow, kalam tanong dyan, tumumine bilo sa National Assembly. Just kafo ko, tumando President wala retirement na retire abe benefit lemon. Jama ba ko maybe President Barrow atakila atalola ex-presidents belonging statutory agency ke deputy jama bi mena imana aka ku kiskis ba ka jibi but they went for it just to vote so ko mi an ko kere no alliance jama ba mera maybe Jammeh will benefit but at the end of the day in order for Jammeh will not benefit from those things so but jama fana kam folon ko President Barrow will not come for that time.
First, let's make this correct. That Jammeh cannot benefit from this is not true. Who is Jammeh? Is he convicted? Is he a criminal? No. Before you are called a journalist, there has to be appointment letter, interview, and until they give you appointment letter. That now you are appointed as journalist for Eyeafrica. These are the terms and conditions. These are your terms of reference. No court, Jammeh has never appeared in any court, and no court has found Jammeh guilty. And he is ex-president, so anyone who is telling you cannot benefit is just telling you what is not true. Until a competent court of competent jurisdiction is able to prove beyond reasonable doubt as such abitela la kasoto. So if inyataka bungo dilela inyataka motori ibe kasoto ibe bungo dilela lo nyadi and ibe kasoto
iko I cool minke wole siata like
we agree. Jammeh minke asiata like good and bad. Yes, I always want to make that plain. Just like all of us, we all do good, we all do bad. Yes, we accept that. That's normal. That's human life. In fact, that's why there is sin. If there is no sin, it means everything is good. So we understand that, we accept that. But then what we are saying is there is a system. The system is such that there has to be a competent court authority that says, okay, this and this and this and this, and then beyond all reasonable doubt, wakamala lua ko 10. But just by this is not true. You have only two ex-presidents in this country, and that is Jawara and Jammeh, and the only one who is living is Yahya Jammeh. So anything that comes for benefit for former president, anyone who is telling you it's not Yahya Jammeh is lying, it's not true. Except Ning, our right soul Ning, I lose due to court, this and that. Yes. Then he is the one who has brought a lot of other things in the Gambia as well. He has done great. So yes, we understand he has done other things that are wrong. We understand that. He's a human being, and I don't defend him for that. I only say he has done great. That's what I believe in. He has done other mistakes, yes, we agree. But then, that cannot be based on what Mr. Bojang said. It has to be based on what the law says. So you cannot say Jammeh is this, Jammeh is that, when there is no verdict actually. There are recommendations from commissions and so on. We understand that. The quasi-judicial bodies and all those sort of things. Yeah, we understand all those things. But then, nobody can concretely say they cannot benefit. And that we ask the majority leader here, and then that is it. That is what.
Nga sawun dami yalon ko be few minutes tala wurla to dami ko olon fuelo la fanati nga jela ko fuelo market banko kan ya ba manki kan because OMC oil marketing company ya signal ol dire ko fuelo sa manki no so ba jela ko andung wosi faldol won fende mi ko ka banko nasin bakal aka julan safaro kolendele aka tani na kolende banko kan anim fana hani banko la fanko fan aka nyajile because these are things me uncle. I came a few months back, just like that last week or 2 weeks back. Taniko, Minister of Finance, Minister of Trade, these are things me uncle coming. The Saudi Badia phone came and the Yachika Yadi Jawal, maybe Jawal, our company is doing extremely good. Me and Kokatandiko, follow supply info. But dolko ya dia la coming kan wolom pour ka fuelo ni kana manki because ya lango fuelo ko manki ne wala sabu ya ning lobby but dol fanata ndiko it shouldn't be given to only oil company but in the kamata ya tala modul team bari bring at kis roke according to Jawel spokesperson I mean folon ko ako tender me yele coming naton coming ipa lobby la then he is the only company being qualified to just to have it because there are terms and conditions. Failure to that terms and conditions, you cannot able to have that phone. But not the other side of the story for us. No, they have passed that exam. Actually, if an answer no but it means go little bit coming jembulungal plate miango actually from the ministry area and la koton kajeko jawels of 50 million phone in sort of but we are trying to find out, but mingana important wala ko sign. If at all not on coming wo dita nung han sign follow ni so fodung kodo man dida bang fodung manekata follow strategy o kata mole kule mi anko ego sako salo mingana na.
Yeah, long. This is what I always talk about. You see, we are all Gambians and we love this country. I don't have any problem with the government coming with incentives or so to help Gambian businesses to grow in the interest of the public, national security, and so on. Okay, ni amalaku, I blame the government for that. Ja Oil is a private citizen. He has no stake in this, as in to decide this is going to happen or not. No. Ni ata itole men for olebije. I feel it and I apply. Na soto it's fine. He's a Gambian, and he has employed a lot of people as well, and has done tremendously good in so many other areas. Just like there is no perfect human being, that's the truth. So, Hannibal, remember Bagot, he has some weaknesses. Saudi, they have weaknesses. Everybody has. Okay, so I wouldn't want to say much about that, because I don't know what actually it is. But then, if their statement is right, then that's fine, because, it's public tender, and then they did supply what the tender required, and then they won. They don't award it to themselves. Somebody awarded it to them. Okay, maybe there could be X, Y, Z that is not fair and so on. But they don't have game over that. They don't have control over that. So I understand from that perspective. However, one thing I always have said, and I will repeat, is to have an economy that is running efficiently, you have to understand that one thing you need to protect, at least one thing, and that is your supply chain systems and infrastructure. If that is not taken care of, your economy will always be suffering. Because this shortage is only be manche. Manche another sort of menka chawalem ne another akalafale. Wodum mangambia mako.
Oh, okay.
Man, I understand.
I understand.
This is a business. Because in co manche that the demand will go up.
Yeah.
Mo bebe sula in co men I manche killing fula. Ni anata mo bebe la flaka kuosoto. So obviously, naturally, demand in the highland, and that is to the disadvantage of the average Gambian. So the government should put up mechanisms. But again, from their release, the government, Ministry of Finance, and whatnot, the line ministries or so, unilaterally, it told them additional on some reduction of whatever, and at the end of the day, it all man consultation or sort of, and stuff like that. So it's like, if is a cane work. Oil marketing companies, the ministry, and other agencies like that can diam. Mokili manyana hani ata sembo soto. Yemanyana decision or tala without having due consultations. Because ha sembo soto jana, but we don't sembo soto bladol. So nite eta ke, olfana eta ke. There will be no harmony. It's like there will be no harmonious or coordinated effort towards getting what all of you want and in the interest of the country and national security. So at the end of the day, I'm more batandale. So I think the ministry should be avoiding this. We don't bring Jamela time. They should learn. Whichever way he was doing it, we should know how. But we should learn and improve on it. All this time, shortage fuel, shortage this, amam banko mako. So I think the major players with the government should make sure a more fundamental interest given that is Gambians. However, the government should be very efficient at doing things.
And min kana mol fon cool betembe dami to niya jibi ka bagaso fe nan banko kan, like when it comes to fuel ate Jawel is the company mi yalan ko fuda nyawo nyama nem fuel sur nyadang ka fuelo bonam from Senegal dami yalan ko is having other business kam da ka fe nan but niya jibi fana naton coming doe mintandi wolo ndiko naton coming go kodo be ndekala be manyane kala fuelo because bankola commodity sol jama bapti e ka hay bakel so yendo dunda domor fengole to pour kaje ko ka domor feng muta ka ni woke enen julani juloli competition ke marché kono deni bajel ko by force julol tabe jila because ni man sadir la sur by force ila price will jila but ni abike fo bara fe sa intending bagaso dala fatale anu fuelo fana na so de ketenting at the end of the day mina kanake fuelo da kala fare
Yalanka is well explain more. We are getting it wrong. Subsidy is not the answer. It's not the solution. It's never a long-term solution. No. The idea is this. Bagasol kabonandame. Ikanyim korodi menna. Akasanandame. Among ye controlled. What is wrong with us investing in our agriculture? What is also wrong going back, wrong in investing in light manufacturing? Gambia will be samato draka nyim bankunka. Gambia will be cool draka nyim bankunka meyalo. Near a factory domandi malio yele ye sponsor. Inata ika 10,000 le doku sango kono ya make so ye masingo soto ye training soto ye power electricity kendo soto member akele 100,000 doku. Mo le bina ika nabaga solta ka afila bankoto. That's the solution. So nika koro di nyina atakara sandame ni wale ala fa hane koro mendi ala what he is not
ini la kalam talo wan sakunda dame muta ya mako e kavu ko karba ke abakata ko ke kambari pour ka empower kaje ko kamasungo da ka fen ko ten kay pour kaje ko naton kay mo kilne employee dena bita fo mo tang a sa wala employee
bi ndama fo nga amansoto malo ba nse ko killing fo ye ni ata mansa kuna minister le na ya fo ba fo la fa mbaro na ay ariana fa wala fe na Gambia no li but in reality amansoto those are things that they will say but they are not even seeing the effect. So this yalo ko ni ake aina fa sort mo be kala effect jale. That's the point. So sometimes the way they even help assistance di nyame abukan na fa la fe na moy.
I could remember one talbo konjira ko ye skill center yele phone, one of the skill center mi anga bitaka masimul sambaje. Could you remember?
Yes, there are skill centers in low, gay and so on. See, but that's not the point.
What skills and the skills and the
I think you have one in Demban, a block around those areas. You know, there are skills centers. I'm not very sure. I'm not sure what they are doing there. I understand that they are doing trade there, different types. I think there is something like welding, satellite installation, and stuff like that. You know, yes, I understand it all chicken and I gave visit, to be honest with you. So I wouldn't want to say much about that. But what I can tell you is this. You see, how this would be very effective is before you train people on this, you have already those that are trained and they have opened their little shops. Why not you scale those shops up? You as a government will not even spend money on training those people. No. Get them the necessary equipment, take them to China to learn about one or two things, get them the necessary machinery, bring them, tell them, government is giving you land, government is giving you tax nangam, we are giving you a house, we are giving you all that you need. Your tax is to train 100 people and we are not giving you anything. do work, government will buy from you, will do stuff, companies will buy from you, and then you have to train these people. You don't even have to build a school. These people will train them. They will have money, and the skills will be there. But you have somebody who is able to do tailoring, and he can do fantastic job. He can do day beds, these sofas, he can do them. So he's done. He goes open his small shop. Another one goes open his small shop. So all these small shops together, you cannot even export to Guinea-Bissau. But now, if these people are empowered, and then encourage an apprenticeship system whereby the it is going to be much better and easier for the government.
Okay,
the point is we need to have export. We need to be sending things outside. That's what makes our economy better. But it's not about training and then people are sewing Tobaski. They have.
But how can you send things outside when you spend like maybe per shoe you spend like $300 per shoe, and then you want to sell to another country whereby just like the selling is not going to be more than $300. Maybe it's going to be around $200. That is still losses.
No, it doesn't work like that. That is your estimation of shoe is 300. No, people are making shoe less than that, way less than that.
No, I'm just making an example.
Okay, now whatever it is, you cannot sell at a loss. But one thing I can tell you, if you are taking fare to go to Senegal to buy shoe and bring it, plus what you pay, you add everything. If you buy from the Gambia, it's going to be cheapest.
What about the quality?
The quality is there.
Okay.
Yes. I know what I'm telling you. I know people that are doing it and I've patronized it. No, Gambia, I'm going to buy from me. I'm not going to buy from anyone.
Left katandala ko the same quality min ka sodo banko bantala wo the same quality
more than
and wolum fenti mi yalan ko nintemena yalan bara ma min kala wala niko nga kalamtan commission of traffic mi yalan ko lamin king koli ngalon ko emba ko commence da yalan ko motol number plate on drive lancing anin kata fo tinted clearance hall anin kata fo motol mi yalan ko kaytol tela ay emba ko commence le because ko jama babije mi yalan ko ka falta pour ka motol borondi e ka motol min borondi e ka ke motol de mi yanko salo fala nyasi nan ka motol mata kafako mbatu ngara baraba janni salo tema andu mol life le sido kan abe ko mala bakare e watu wati pour ka jogo police simfata andu police lo simfane mun aba kala min ni wala ni ko katandi ko niajibe e kulle be kering banko kan e ka moto borondi a tra ko e mantara ning e police la tamandro ke kan wala kata moto traffic act e mantra wo tamandi kan bari e moto so damare number plate tala fengo fentala motol kaytol man betari bare moto borondi because salo kana si ko rabara bol police play e bentalo simpa e ko simpa man ka simpa de men ko ne luwal data ya kumas non west coast ma ya kumas non around sere ko ndam ma fon kata kan fi ma fon bara kam ko bi tenten de tarafo west coast ma birkam ma fola dame ko mo jama muté pak andi be charge la pour kaje ko e luwal tinya and go kamal fana naton ko mi west coast lom ya ki baro mo west coast lom ende ka kalam ta ko nin tembe na fana ni west coast be la jama because e ko banko be rawna pour kaje ko kawuli somonda juno motol mi yalan ko be silo kan e mandara ta kan ni silo kan ko min luwala fana la e ba trial ba all monsieur motol muté ye put into order whereby is tamande bloke pour kaje ko eta même la mar photo wala mon moto tamani nyati stay kaytol de la no pleto nin ko katol e beke moro bay saje mol la life sa safe no nin kono ku jamal le keta men ko accident le keta le ngajele police la keta ASP bintan jay ay ki barol fitindi katandi ko ni ajibe e accident min keta kenna ma fola ako min tara fo motang anim fen wol baramata jele andu modan dam fana fara jele e ba jele ko nim fene de mi yalan ko nin molore problème so silo kan dolbiye lansinol bi ka soto dolbiye no ma pleto dol insurance bank ka problème mi yalan ko pour kamoto fon identify aka kolya bakale aka do ko ko ni police bulo ko nol e baaje ko wala na commission of traffic ay simfata pour kaje ko fengo fe yalan ko nin kaytol lom wala nin tamandir bulol mi yanko moto nyande ke soto kata moto vehicle act natum coming e moto vehicle act lom e manna soto en isa kalanke ye muta ila house put in order before we finish because ni muta compromise tiji e ni muta rek e be loi tamal le kan aida ibe finance sportly wala ye samba kiti wala jano be taraji e moto muta yela moto muta ndaka kementi yakot nyo bor jefana jani me program bana ba wata man sia jani bojang binana mo tro dabo mi yalan ko atan bidon development foundation na CEO ti atententa an safuno ko fotili sey fotili warawula be diro di kamin karakter fo sukur bodo wuli wudole ay wolle cika kedi 10 kilo ni o 10 kilo ni kono vision development foundation na CEO atententa ay wo sukurol di ala lungolung aka sukurol di anim bulla fengol mi an ko kedi ayadi sate muang anin nanela o borin ko laje fana bi fana ba di kan dolle fana kunda ko tan wala turo dabo nin kala ten turo jero di kabonang supreme islamic council fana wol be ten turo jelo di kata fana député de atara fo almost no député jama bi je mi an ko député mo nyongo fo min siata woti ay boto keme awol di wala akamta vision development foundation CEO ni turo nim manke sinya foloti par sanji jama baya kalamta mi yalan ko nana la sukuro la fanna la bawo sukuro la fendete mi yalan ko banko mol sa ko misir mol ko sulala hana to misir mol fonte bar mu ba jama baka sula wala pour kaje ko atem fendete mi yalan ko mo bi ka sunkaro kana koma Eyeafrica kam ma be jele lungolung damen ko wulara sukuro ton so le kana nan dam yalan ko e ka ci ka kadi misir mol la banko kan anin kata fo banko ton ko nano be pour kaje ka kadi adi milla ni ajibe ni mo fendete mi yalan ko ni tara fanna do la mimbi ko aran janjambure la député mi yalan ko ay mintandi akoni mbana fala bakel ando wo mol député mi yan koy bota santol to wol ba cikala kadi la mol santo to so ba jere sukuru ni mbana faso la bakel ni mo fenete mi yalan ko akum matal tumo min ay simfata jama baya sedia so islamic council la nyaton ko wol be sedia katani ko ni mo fenete mi yan ko amanki bi kuti ametra kayinke andung ka kene minna wala nin ko kaji ko misma nyantolom na soto ayenta ka dile sako karo horomaron karbu nyaran kono mi yalan ko wala min sunkaroti akamta ko bi sunkaro fotilim won fani sababang akamta ko nin temmenna nsafuno ko liro suyana tonglal min tutaji amman fensi butun wokono jama bala fana bije mi yan ko komin super islamic nyaton ko mi foko ako turola ning simfa aya sable jama bapi je mi yan ko ya soto sai fana bi ka maboy ka fintin le kadi misil mol la pour kaje ko ka balu nyamata ka son nim mol blokon butun ni mo fenete mi yan ka kumata bakal be min kala saying safono ko bojang yaajel ni mo fenete mi yan ko men num fenede mi yango ni temmenna ni lon kibarol tinga milsoto comme ay news na ay newspaper say ke kibarol fintinde na ala abundato ni tad na ala abundato ibe ay newspaper jela comme say immediately any moment from now ba commence la ka comme ba fintinda coming to malka finja bar min gana kumata be tara golon ninko timo minna kibar kungol kono mi ko Senegal ya kam to ko bi president kuto adunta baye kono le ni ko baye kono golon ninko adunta la pale kono adunta pale kono dami golon ila state house kono mi ko wala keta basu jama fay timo minna adunta ni neketa ni Macky Sall basi joma fay because na control mo ko bi ka basir fo ko bi ka jomay e kon ka fo jomay bari yalo jomay yalo na mol kam batan le sometimes adunta daminto wolon ninte ko sa adunta pale ko niajibe Macky Sall benum presa yala sanji tang anim fula wo sanji tan nim fulo kono do kol nin ko barakendo la ay minkeno sanji tang onin hakko kono bar jama bana da foko ko ni sanji fula tambila mi yalon ko akareji ko akare fente mi yalon ko tamandire bulol manna ta ko min a ñama fonni kele simfata momi yalon ko ni mo pati mi yan ko lota sanji tang ni la ni longoli sainte mo sanji tang bari nin komu bojang ko la foni tan ECOWAS la ak la wala nata nin ko fanna ko tan wala akam de manke fonni ke wulti say fana sanki ballum say sanji tan nana anin nana a wo sotol ni ajibe fonni kele simfaminta Senegal kono dol fatal dol barmata dol hudayta dol bote noto dol setana dol bi han samol bita kan treatment wala ni mo fennete mi yalon ko bari min jewlon ko Senegal jarte mallaf minna Senegal wota kala iko ni ko min takela wota kala so waya sabu jama balo tay simfata pour kaje ko ka Senegal mutaka kanani ka dundi fanna ko ton kono mi yalon ko ibala fri min wo fanna ni wona da ke fanna de mi yalon ko kartina da fay Senegal democracy another ke democracy mianko is one of the best democracy so far in dunia in Gambia in Africa kono simfalta manna keleke manna sonka ke bar carte nyanta fay la waro mina carte fay han biri waro ma Macky Sall ko carte fayo ning abam ta ka lo sawndi akam to ko ibe kafta nyoko yaate ko mim manya kala because na tententa bina kala kudolti bari nata kam ke wolon ka carte mta ka carte fay lumu ta ka londi mobe sontala mobe balanta kata ne carte ba flolal carte ba faylal carte na da fay tumo minna ade barsi jomay fay anata winter win nyami ko dunia be yafo o boren ko laji yakamta bi ya kalindi tumum ya kalindi head of state jama balle min je kabun Nigeria kata fo duna kotongol to na president ba mi ko his excellency Adama Barrow ata fo ila Senegal le kunun afana tentente wodlato e o boren ko laji fana e kata fo Guinea Conakry president Guinea Bissau le president anin kana fo la Mauritanie wolbe le president tata je an la kotongol e ni tata fo president jama biji e mi yalan ko wala kata ila luwala bundata mi yalan ko atelbe luwala bundala pour kaji ko ka kalindi ka satrol diala ka fay ko e ni mo fenne to taw a minta la Senegal banko e pour kaji ko ka Senegal on sila kan silo mi yalan ko wolon sila kumaron sila bujano sila hormaro anin ka Senegal tanka nya bela e ka Senegal dingol fana tanka Senegal la interest ke ku fulo mi yalan ko basi jomma fay abo mutala kamuta ka kala tunkum fuloti wala kala wala da fuloti akana Senegal to koma ay Senegal ke nyato fuloti e fengo fem mi yalan ka bakala semira Senegal la interest la folo e wala na kuma don Senegalais carte fay wala e Mr Fay amanna ku fokoten kay minke anata wakila tententa ay kalonin taw kama kalonin borin ko la anata minke wala nda dunda baye kono da men ko dunda pale kono pale nin kono ay min nata ka cadunda ni makke sala tema o ka ca borin kolaji min nata wolon ka cabo cika kadel ka fay non Senegal la cabote akam tan kumu Senegal la cabo a cikale a diala andum bi maki amela state house bi afele bi nin nakki bartala do bi je min keda Momad Nyanti e ane min fo kolon ko ko birim makke sala biring PR akolen president du dinam baye kono kadunde state house bari moto miya Macky Sall samba akamta dikelam man saya banta jannato bari man saya kola enjoyment dol bi jota kamta Macky nin temmena say biyo kay anim moñanta sila suo konole pour karan ka weda do faling environment of change of environment nyate kala bi Macky bi ka fako state house mbado ngata o commenter bari mingena ko mata wala kada chaboti ay chaboci ka ay di Senegal la chabo bi ya di funding kala mi yalo kay ka fay ko Basiri Diomaye Faye mi yalon ko asiyo ba sanje tannane anin nani kabo bila atelon Senegal la president bar bojang ko birin kunu lumina baye banta bojang mun mi lokuma la bantu waru la banta fenen
be gamenol be tentula be mol be tentula nene alama mabe tanyin sunka kono kayga ngam sunka jama mabe kaygo kono aminallah ani jada ken dia na banko nga nyo muta nga na banko je melbe do ko la alay place di mel la bi nga tra nga banko je nga do ko ci banko ye ni nga woke dogon be da halal parce que ni ma woke problème wala Senegal ni la ko be to nyaay wala faasa ba même Gambia la problème o de wala bari bu la problème o bari bu ko dam la ko solve fo ni la problème ya fa fo ni ko dam nenati tala banko même mu toñati mu be ka son wala la nga wokele même mu faniyade nga fo mal lafi wala fo ay bari mu ko le soto ay nyomi ko le soto ay jaagan ko le soto kiyanko idosim mata banko nyanta tamala nin ku kendo lekkan so ninga commencé ka wajja rombi dale ba nin ko bari bu la problème bari bu dogon fo ni la problème fo ni dogon be tagla jam fo wili keme
1 million years
we cannot
you will never go abaraka bake honorable Ablaye Bojang atel ketena lu tangoto yati bi ci lo programme wala nene mes Bojang nte kundingo ani Ablaye ndele site jam pour ka kachake ka nga kacha kungul bonde fanna mena wala kata ay newspaper de miyalan ko ate fanam Eyeafrica la fanna dolti ka fa ay newspaper wo ngo bondi wolto ani kata fo standard nga standard fanna mal damen ko kibar kungul bonde o fanato buton kalten to kalte ale wato min jandi pour ka tanan fe ate bi ci lo programme wala alma banko tankala kata nin kata to la baje ko nga duwa fana Senegal fana siran mi yalan ko ya karafala siran ni fo ala sa sambanya fana sonia bulo kono mbe duwala mule mi yalan ko ngata ndala fana la malto center prison ani million ko be kolya kono fo ala se bonde kolya ni kono keke commentel be nyamin ala barka baki bitilo programme lo nene mes Bojang fo sama bye bye